This video is a demonstration of how to use the Vernier Graphical Analysis app for Android. The screen will look slightly different when you're doing this on an iPhone or an iPad. However, most of the procedures should be the same. So I've created a sample set of data that I'm going to click on so that I can analyze it. Your lab sheet asks for you to look at 3 different graphs. However, you'll notice that you only see 2 graphs here. If you are looking at an iPhone screen, you may only see 1 graph. What you do to access different views and to also look at your data table is you click on this icon at the top. Notice it brings up several options. I'm going to look at my data table just to show you the different data we have available. We have, of course, time and position and velocity, but what you were not able to see on the previous screen is the fact that we have acceleration data as well. So now I'm going to go back to my view. I'm going to look at my 2 graphs. I want to choose to look at my acceleration graph. What I need to do is click on the label for my y-axis where it says velocity. When I do that, it pulls up options for things that I can graph on the y-axis. I'm going to graph acceleration. Notice if I look at my graph, I am graphing acceleration and velocity on the same axes. However, if I only want to look at both of those, I will go back to my options, I will uncheck velocity, and to return to my graph, I simply click on the y-axis label again. Now that lets us see our acceleration. However, I'm going to want to compare our position graph to our velocity graph in a moment, so I'm going to restore it to velocity. What you are instructed to do on your lab sheet is to choose a parabolic section of your position graph and do a curve fit so that you can find the best fit line using the quadratic equation to mimic this data. The way you select data on this is you're going to basically touch the screen over one of the graphs where you want to start signifying your data, and you're going to drag your finger across. So I'm selecting data on the position graph. If you'll notice, I've selected from about 1.55 seconds to 4.9 seconds. I've kept my finger on the screen the whole time because as soon as I let go, it is going to pull up a menu. You don't have to do anything except for adjust the area where it says curve fit. Notice under where it says curve fit right here, there is a menu. It has various types of graphs that I can try to fit this data to, but your lab lets you know that this looks like the quadratic equation. So I'm going to try and fit a quadratic equation to that parabolic section. I'm going to hit OK. And notice now I have that highlighted area. I have a quadratic equation there with values for the variables in place. If the form of the equation is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, if I want to remove this selection, I can click on it again, and then I can click delete. Notice it's no longer highlighted. I no longer have my quadratic section. However, I would like to have that back up, so I'm going to go back and do a curve fit again for that section. If you look on your velocity graph, you also have directions to do a linear curve fit, well, a linear fit for that velocity section. So this velocity section right here looks to be fairly linear. I know there are several bumps in the data, however, it's mostly linear. So we're going to select this. We're going to choose under curve fit, we're going to choose linear. Because this appears to be a line, we'd like to find out the equation for that line if this was graphed by an equation. So if the graph of the equation is of the form y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope, we get a value for m, we get a value for b. M is 0.4597, and that is actually the value for your acceleration, which is a little easier to see on the Logger Pro software, for which there's also a video uploaded to YouTube, because it also provides you with the units. So it would show you that the value of m is 0.4597 meters per second squared. I hope this helps with your data analysis. If you have questions, feel free to come to tutoring.